Herculaneum, like Pompeii, was a Roman town on the coast of southern Italy, between modern-day Naples and Sorrento. You'll find that the ruins in the modern town of Ercolano. The ancient town actually extends underneath the modern one, and what's been excavated is probably only a small portion of what was covered when Vesuvius erupted. Herculaneum lies on the opposite side of Mount Vesuvius to Pompeii, and although they shared the same fate when the volcano erupted, they were destroyed in different ways. Pompeii by a 25-meter thick shower of falling rocks, Herculaneum by a lethal 100 miles an hour, 250 degrees C, pyroclastic surge of hot gas and ash. The sheer volume of hot ash that rained down on Herculaneum means the modern town of Ercolano is at a much higher level than the ancient one, and as you walk down the long ramp into the ruins, you're surrounded by wild flowers and birdsong. It's like stepping into another world. The tranquil feel and the sense that the inhabitants have only just left makes their deaths even more horrific. After you've seen the buildings where they lived, worked and socialised, you'll reach the place where many of them died. As you round the corner of the ancient beach, the eruption, by the way, pushed the seafront 500 metres further out to the sea. You will see the boathouses, and inside them hundreds of skeletons. As these people sheltered in hope of being rescued by boat, an intense wave of hot gas hit the town, killing them instantly, vaporizing their flesh and leaving only their charred bones. The main reasons to visit Herculaneum is so different from Pompeii. There's so much more which is preserved, and when Mount Vesuvius erupted, the buildings in Pompeii were damaged by a deluge of falling rocks before being buried in lava and ash, meaning that very little survives above the ground floor, and virtually every building lost its roof. In Herculaneum, the town was buried almost instantly in hot ash. The buildings in Herculaneum are much better preserved than those in Pompeii. Many of them have their upper floors still intact, and a couple even have the original wooden balcony. Unbelievably, some of the shops still have fittings. It's really difficult to choose between Herculaneum and Pompeii. If you're interested in Roman history and what happened when Mount Vesuvius erupted, it's a real shame not to visit its most famous site, Pompeii. Having said that, many people do prefer Herculaneum to Pompeii for its lack of crowds, stunning preservation, and being able to see more sights in a shorter space of time with less walking. So if you're determined to visit Pompeii, visiting Herculaneum as well adds a lot of extra richness to your trip. It'll give you a better understanding of what the buildings you saw in Pompeii would have looked like when they were complete, and a better feel for the inhabitants' lives that were there. The extra level of preservation at Herculaneum is absolutely amazing, and because it's so close to Pompeii and so much smaller, it's not too much extra effort to visit both. I recommend visiting Pompeii before Herculaneum and taking a guided tour, and it will help to understand both of the sites. And of course, if you're visiting Italy in the summertime, it's going to be really hot, and I found walking around Pompeii just a little bit unbearable on a hot day, whereas walking around Herculaneum being much smaller, more compact, and much more pleasurable. I found visiting the two Roman cities where so many people died quite emotional. The casts of the bodies at Pompeii are really tragic, while the skeletons at Herculaneum are actually rather horrifying. I think visiting Herculaneum and Pompeii on the same day might be a little bit too much. So while you definitely can imagine yourself living in Pompeii as you walk its Roman streets, in Herculaneum the effect is really powerful. If you close your eyes, you can almost hear and sense the Roman life going on around you. It's truly like a living museum.